that tells me initially you are an emotional eater. So let's start with that. So you said you feel like eating something right now. That's good. I usually have mine. I had some fresh squeezed orange juice. Um, so you feel like you want to eat, right? How does eating make you feel?
Honestly, it just makes me feel comfortable.
Okay.
Like it just does. Like I just want to eat something sweet, like maybe some M&Ms. And I had some M&Ms, I just didn't bring them. That's a good thing. I decided to bring my tea, but yeah,
Okay.
it just makes me feel comfortable at the moment.
Okay. So you wanted to do that, but you chose something else. So that's good, and I think that we should acknowledge that you made a choice.
Yeah, I did. Wow, I did actually. Yes, I chose life. Okay.
No, that
See,
no.
that's another thing. I get really, really nervous too, and I start talking a lot. So, yeah.
No, that's okay. Um, so I've never done this in public before. In secret, yes, but, yeah, but not in public. But this is good because this is for everybody's learning as well. Um, so you have to acknowledge the small wins. So you could have had something else, but you chose something else. So that's good. And so moving forward, you already know that there's a power in choice. And moving forward, you know that you have the ability to choose. And you can pat yourself on the back because you made a good choice. You're so crazy. So,
Right now, I got a headache. I'm just getting a headache right now too because I don't know what's expected of me. That's
okay.
interesting.
So, okay. So you're having these physiological things happening in your body. And so, and you have to know you have a choice about that too. You have a choice about how you process things. Now, you've known me for, oh my goodness, how many years? Since 2014? Right. So, you have to remember that you can feel safe.
Yeah,
So,
you're right
it's
about that.
right. So you can choose how you feel from moment to moment. Because the thing is that when you have a thought, then you have to then you have what happens when you have a thought, then you have options. And you can choose what to do with the thought that arrives. Does the thought stay or do you pull it down? Do you want to feel uncomfortable? Okay. So,
No, I don't want to feel uncomfortable.
okay. So, then you have to choose something else. So, she's laughing. I'm giving you a moment so you could choose something else. This is happening in real time.
Okay, I can choose to breathe.
Okay. Because I don't want to tell you what to do. I mean, I will if I have to. But yeah, breathe, relax. There is a strength and a power in the breath. So when you meditate, and then you take a deep breath in through the nose, hold it for a moment, and then out through your mouth real slow. And you do that as many times as you have to, because you don't want to um, stay in a space that you don't want to be in. A lot of people, they want to run, but no, you have to own your entire self. Never let a situation dictate how you're going to feel. And even if you feel a certain way, you still have the choice to, how do you process through that? How do I feel? Am I nervous? Am I afraid? Am I going to have an anxiety attack? Like, who wants to feel any of those things? So I choose to be relaxed. I could be really nervous right now, but nobody would know because I don't want to feel nervous, and I don't want anybody to know I'm nervous. I don't, I could say, well, what are you going to say to her? What are you going to do? And then, well, I mean, this is a different person, or this is a different part of the relationship, or how's it going to turn? That's a bunch of rambling. So I choose to stay focused because I'm here to help. So that's my motivation. Your motivation is you want to be helped. You want to hear, you want to know, you want to be in tune and in sync. So that then
Yes.
brings the cooperation piece here. So this is the 21 days to resetting your mind, or in other words, retraining your brain. Because if you let your mind do a lot of flip flops, it's literally working on doing something to your brain to change it, and not in a good way. But it can be in a good way if the words in your head are different. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, what part of you, because we're going into it now, it's like, oh my God, what part of you, what part of you feels like a little girl? And
Oh,
smiling.
wow.
How does that question make you feel?
How, what part of me feels like a little girl? Wow. You really are asking me a question, aren't you?
I really, yeah, hey, that's what he gave me. I was like, that's good, and I almost forgot it. I had to write it down.
What part of me feels like a little girl? The nervous part.
Okay. And I'm asking
Because,
in general, though. I'm asking in general. Just in general, not in this moment. But if you want to answer for the moment, that's fine too.
when you say in general,
Just in
can
general,
you elaborate?
yeah, when you're in general, just on your day to day, I mean, you might be in the kitchen, you might be cooking, it might be doing a little dance or whatever. It could be, I don't know. So that's the question that I'm supposed to ask you. What part of you, or when do you feel like a little girl? That's a better question. When do you feel like a little girl?
Wow, that's a deep question to be. Jesus, are you sure you are? You told her to ask me that question.
Write down the question.
Oh,
Write it down. Write down the question. Write it down. Write it down. So good, I just can't tell it all.
when do I feel
Like
like
a little girl.
a
Mm-hmm.
little girl in general?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you think?
Well,
Yeah, because if you can think of some times that you feel like that, then that's going to be an answer to the question.
well, what comes to the top of my head right now is
Mm-hmm.
making life decisions. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know how to make these decisions. And when I feel like a little girl is when I have no choice but to get on my knees and pray. And I refuse to cry. I don't even know why I'm about to cry.
It's okay. I knew that was going to happen. It's okay.
That's not cool.
It's real. We're not trying to be. It's okay. You got to know that it's okay because God wants to go into the deep places. That's why that is the indicator. That is the indicator. So it's really okay.
I have no tissues.
You want to go get one? And I'm sorry, I should have told you to have them ahead of time, but my, you okay?
My son is getting me some tissues.
Okay, awesome. It's okay. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. All right. So,
Okay, so yeah, that's when I feel like a little girl, especially since I'm doing a lot of life choices on my own, basically. Yeah, those are moments I feel like a little girl.
okay. So, what about joyful, joyful days? Do you have any little, little girl moments for joyful days, or just being in the
Yeah,
house?
I do actually. I
Okay.
do. Like today, just a little while ago, I just finished writing like my vision, and like I haven't done that in a long time. Like really, really sit down and think through some things, and I felt really, really excited. Like yeah, like I did a whole happy dance in my room and everything.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So that's when I felt like a little girl. The celebration.
So, what part of you feels like an adult?
Serious?
I'm just listening.
What part of me feels like an adult when I feel accomplished? Yes, when I feel accomplished, very accomplished.
Okay.
Like, you know what? Just doing the meditation, I feel
Hmm.
like a big girl with my big girl panties on. Seriously. You know why? Because I'm gonna transparent moment. Because I'm able to sit still for at least 7 to 8 minutes and literally dream. Like I thought I was doing that before,
Hmm.
but before what I was doing was, yeah, I was meditating on scripture, reading the word, studying, but I'm meditating on things that I want to see happen. That's different. So I think it just takes off a lot of I think it takes off a lot of pressure. I don't know, and maybe guilt. Why does this feel like a therapy session, Nabia?
Because it is.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's when I feel like an adult. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make me feel happy.
Yes. So, okay. So, my next question is, what do adults do? What do adults do?
Pack up and move. Sorry. Oh my God. Excuse me. What do adults do? Adults make decisions. Adults pay the bills. Adults get up and go to work if they have to. Adults take care of the kids. Let me take a sip of my tea, please.
Yes, yes. I should have had mine. I'm just sitting here mad about it, but.
Yeah, that's what I think adults do. Like, yeah, maybe it's different for everybody. For me, that's just what do adults do.
Okay, so
Adults gotta be responsible.
that's what I was looking for. That was the next thing. So would you say that they are responsible? Which leads me to my next
Oh.
question. Where have you been irresponsible with yourself?
Sorry about that. I had to tell my granddaughters to stop. Okay. What was the question? I'm sorry.
So, being that adults are responsible, where have you been irresponsible with yourself?
I saw the movie Soul yesterday. Okay.
Yes, good.
Which
Y'all supposed to watch the
leads
movie
to
Soul.
just the beginning alone ministered to me. Like I didn't even have to see the rest of the movie, although I watched it, but the beginning alone ministered to me, which leads to the responsibility. I started thinking, I don't want to like be irresponsible with the gift and the dreams that God already put inside of me and not do something with it. Like just the beginning of the movie alone, when he falls into that and dies, that just ministered to me alone because you just never know when the end is near. And I have been responsible with my gifts. I have been. I have to be really transparent. I had a really like I repented. Like, oh God, I repent for not being I've been repenting these past several days since I started this 21 thing, to be honest with you. Because I started realizing I've been irresponsible with the knowledge that I know, with the wisdom that I have accumulated with my lifetime, with just that alone. Like I've been irresponsible in not sharing that, not sharing what I've known. Yeah.
And where have you been irresponsible with your thought life?
Can you just give me a second, just for a minute?
Yeah, no problem. And you can and you should probably write that down as well.
Okay, can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. Where have you been irresponsible in your thought life?
By thinking that I am not ready, period. By thinking that I am not enough and that I don't know enough to share. That has been my irresponsible thoughts. It's all been a lie.
What else?
What else?
What else? Oh, for before you get to what else, so then how do you plan to fix that? The I'm not ready voice that plays in your head. How do you plan to to pull that down? What is your new?
Well, what I've been doing is saying to myself that I am ready. I'm looking at the camera right now and I'm saying, I am ready.
Okay.
I am ready. I have been saying that. And because it's fascinating, because as I've been saying that I am ready,
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to think like my thoughts are not that scrambled because I'm not in my head as much. And like I said, I've been able to write. Look, all my stuff down, writing down all my stuff.
That's
I'm
good.
proud of myself for that because I am ready. Yeah, that's the only way that I can answer that question is by reversing. When that thought comes up, I have to say, no, I am ready. I am worthy. And my voice is worthy to be shared. Like I can share. I can do it messy, period.
Okay. I know that's good. So, because the thing that I want people to understand is that when we start to reverse engineer the thoughts that are in our heads, then it's not just the thinking and it's not just the saying, but it's the doing. I gave an example of, if you're going to forgive somebody, you can't just say, well, I forgive them. You have to actually forgive them. It's not just the, you know, I need to lose these 3 pounds, and you know it, but you don't change anything. So there needs to be a corresponding action with.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
called,
faith without
it's
works.
called alignment. All of it.
Yeah, all of that aligns. You're right about that.
Yeah. So there's no alignment. So name the lie that keeps coming to your head. She's like, oh my god. Name it. Don't claim it.
Well, besides the fact that I'm not ready, the lie that keeps coming up is nobody's going to hear what you have to say.
And have you come up with a opposing thought?
Um, I think the opposing thought is what I'm saying to myself is my voice is worthy. Was it that? Wait, I gotta look at my notes. Hold on for a minute, because I got it. I wrote it in my journal. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, because we have to, when we have these lies that swirl around in our heads, we can't just like look at them like and like birds that are
It's
waiting
true.
to nest in your hair. And so you
It's
have to
true.
have that anchor where you're literally pulling it down. So how are you dealing with that?
My story is worthy to be shared.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's great. That is great. That is great. That is great. That is great. Um, all right. So now, for folks that don't know this, and I have this thing called mirror mirror, and if you and I meant to have you bring a little mirror right there, like, yeah. So I need you to say three encouraging words to yourself. I mean, you can see yourself on camera, so that's kind of like a mirror. So, what are the three encouraging words that you want to tell yourself in order for you to start to what I call um, escape velocity? Like to get, that basically means to get up, to get up, to get up, to get up. So, name three, find three encouraging things to say to yourself. Because the whole idea is, a lot of times we have all of these thoughts in our heads, and they're just up there. And we have to start being intentional about the things that we say to ourselves, just on purpose. It could be anywhere to, you put on an outfit and you look nice today, to you have been created to win. I don't care what it is. It can be anything, because the words are for you. The words are for the little girl that is inside of you. The words is for the emerging adult that is on the inside of you. So you want to encourage yourself. You want to make sure that your headspace is good, because it has to be conducive for reproduction, for producing, actually, and creativity.
Can I write it down first and then say them?
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I wanted you to have your journal with you, so that you could take note.
I actually wrote the 3 positive things that you asked us to write down. But it's interesting because those 3 positive things are turning into positive affirmations as I'm talking to you. So the 3 positive things that I wrote down were that I'm loyal. That I know about myself. I'm loyal. I'm intelligent. And I think the hardest part for me was to write down that I'm beautiful, because I've always thought that I wasn't beautiful because of so much of the emotional abuse that I endured. But I am beautiful. So the 3 positive things that I can say looking in the mirror is, I am loyal to my life mission. I am intelligent enough to share what I know. And I'm beautiful enough to share my story with others.
Amen.
And I put my makeup on, but obviously that's not working with all of this right now.
So how do you feel when you tell yourself these things? Is there is is there like a fight in you trying to believe it, or how do you feel?
There's a part of me that fights, but I know it's a wall. That's a wall. I know that's a wall that's been built because of so much of the insecurities and so much of the expectations from others that were put on me. But other than that, I feel like a relief, and at the same time, like my ears are beginning. I feel like my ears are burning. I don't even know why, but yeah, I'm getting these physical things just saying them to you and to others that can hear this, because I'm vulnerable right now.
We do have to be vulnerable. We just let it go, and just like, what, this is my truth, and it is what it is. But it doesn't mean that it's going to trap me or to keep me from pouring out my life without measure. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do on this portion, because there's another side of this, and I like to keep that part private, I'm going to disconnect the live. So for those of you that may be watching this on the replay, thank you so much for joining and listening. And I hope that what you hear and see here makes you think, and makes you want to start talking to yourself in such a way that you're able to recognize certain things in your life. So and that is my hope, and that was one of the reasons why I did it, because sometimes we just don't do this. We just don't sit with ourselves. And so it's important for us to do that. Thank you guys so much.
Can I share something to everybody real quick, Nabila?
Yeah,
May I?
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I just want to say to everybody else out there that, you know, I just keep hearing say that God gives us beauty for ashes.
Yes.
Like my scars are actually They're actually awesome. Because if it would not be for the journey that I've gone through, I would not be sitting here today doing this. So don't think of yourself less, and don't think that you're not ready, because you are. It's like, do it messy. It's what I keep hearing. Just do it messy. That's all I need to say.
That's good. Yeah, you just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, and that's okay. That's okay. All right, guys. We will see you on the other side. Please post your comments. Let me know what you think. And applaud Carmen for doing this, because it really isn't easy. It isn't easy doing it by yourself. Never mind, well, I'm not saying the free world. It's not on my timeline. Wait, is it on my timeline? No, it's not on my timeline. No, so it's not. But it it is an inspiration, and I hope that it leads to transformation. All right, guys. Cheers.